Amen.
And then after you read it, you spend time in His presence and wait. That way you can be led by the Spirit and not by your flesh. Because your flesh will take you places you don't want to go. I know that through experience. I know that through experience. My flesh has taken me to places I'm like, how did I get here, man? How did I get here? There's nothing wrong with wanting to become a part of somebody's life. There's nothing wrong with your aspirations, with your dreams, with all the good things that you're going to do. But let me ask you a question. Where is God in all of that? If God is not in that, and your love is not being expressed for someone else, you might want to reconsider. And I'm talking to myself. If God, you know what Moses said? Moses said this, Lord, God, if your presence is not there, I am going. But how would we know? If all we do is we make our choices based on how we feel. Well, I feel like dancing, so I'm going to... Well, then you're not operating in faith. So, here's the last thing I want to tell you.
Sex flows like a river lips.
Oh, is that a okay. Is that a commentary? You can get the video afterwards. Here's the last thing I want to tell you is this. Your love will be something, will be the ultimate vehicle that God will use to bring people to Christ. Apart from what you're teaching, you're being taught, apart from your own walk, apart from the things that you're doing, your love is the vehicle that God will use, His love. You know the funny thing is, when you read that verse, when it says thy first love, that word love is actually translated as agape. It's an unconditional love. You say, well, I don't have agape love. The devil is a liar. Yes, you do. Because agape love is a love that you do something for someone, even though they don't do it back for you, or if you don't get nothing back in return. You know, the way we love is, what's in it for me? If ain't nothing in it for me, I ain't doing it. Well, then that's not agape love. That's not the God kind of love. For God so loved the world that what did He do? He didn't take anything. He gave. That's how you can measure whether or not you have that kind of first love that the Bible's talking about. Are you doing things not to get anything back, but so that you can give something to someone else? When you do that, you become a faithful man and a woman of God. And there's no telling what God can do with you, in you, through you, and around you. We have to become a people that were concerned about that first love rather than our own love. Your own love is only looking to take, not to give. The man of God asked me, he says, Ben, I was going to get married one time. She was like 15 years older than me. I didn't have to share that, but I did anyway. She was very mature. And I remember I was sitting in counseling. This was like our 4th session. And he says, Ben, do you love her? So when he asked me, I said, yeah. I thought it was an opportunity for me to kind of boast, poke my chest out and say, yeah. I said, the reason why I love her is because she makes me feel like a man. I love her because she helps me out and she does this and this, that, yeah. After like 5 minutes of saying why I love the other individual that I was considering married, the man of God crossed his hands and he says, Ben, I'm sitting there like, yeah, what's up, bro? You better tell me. He says, that was the most selfish answer I've ever heard. It changed my perception on love. But it really did something about the kind of love that God has called me to operate in, which is a love that has to do with others and serving others and putting others first. He says, Ben, listen to this. Hope this blesses you. He says, Ben, true love is about what you can give, not what you can get. If your relationship with Christ is only producing a love of what you can get and not what you can give, you decide what you need to do. Let me not tell you, you know something ain't right. When that begins to take place, you know what happens? everything that you do becomes about you. And God cannot be glorified. You'll be glorified, not him. If I be lifted up, I will use you. This is emphasis. I will use you to draw all men unto me. You say, well, that's not biblical. Yes, it is. How does God do things? He does it through us. If I be lifted up, I will draw all men unto me. So, let us examine our hearts. Answer that question. Is your love a first love? Or is it a poor love? Amen?
Amen.